If you've played the other Rockstar games, at least Grand Theft Auto 4 and Red Dead Redemption, your main character is pretty interesting. I mean, he has a pretty interesting backstory, and he's pretty well developed. And you find out a lot about them as the game goes by, but Cole was kind of dull. Like, he didn't have that great of a story. You didn't find out about him until like way later into the game. I mean, it was mentioned that he was married and here and there, and it started where you saw his wife, and you found out that he had two kids, but that's it. You never saw them. Um, that's it. You never knew anything about them until like almost the end of the game. So I was always wondering about that. I was like, I want to know more about Cole, but you really don't find out about him until like when the game is almost over. The stuff that you do find out about him, it's just like his military story. So it was kind of disappointing in a way. To give you guys a little bit of an understanding of how this game works in the investigation process, what you do is you get a case. You go to this crime scene, and basically you look around for clues. Every time you get close to a clue, you can hear these little bells, like a little ding. And sometimes your controller will vibrate, so you know that you're at a clue. And when you're there, you just push A, and it shows you the clue. You could pick up the item or anything it is, if it's a piece of paper or anything. So you could pick it up and like examine it and move it around. And if it's something of interest, depending on how you move it, like let's say that the interest point is right here, and you have it like this. Once you turn it like that, it'll zoom in, and it'll like, oh yeah, it's this and that, and it writes it into your little booklet for later use. It's kind of hard sometimes to do this because once you move the controller like that and it's starting to zoom in, sometimes it stops. Like sometimes it zooms out again and it's like it's trying to zoom in, and you're like, damn it, I can't get it, I can't get it. So that was kind of a downfall to that type of investigation. When you're interrogating someone, you open your booklet, and basically it has the person, who they are, and the questions that you need to ask them. And when you ask the questions, the person will answer them, and then it shows their face, and it says, you could either say truth, like they're telling the truth. You could do a doubt, which means that you think they're lying, but you don't really have proof behind the lie. And then there's lie. And if you say they're lying, you have to prove that they're lying by some kind of clue that you had gotten. Like maybe they said, I wasn't at the club the other night. And then you say you're lying because I have this proof that you were there. You know, some kind of like, I don't know, some shoe or something that you found at the club, and they're like, this is yours. And they're like, oh my god, how'd they know? The ending was pretty good. It was kind of predictable though, like really predictable. It wasn't very satisfying either. It was kind of like, okay, yeah, that fits. It works. The ending didn't really get me the way that I would have wanted it. Throughout the whole game, I was like, it's gonna pick up, it's gonna pick up. And it never really did pick up. It was very predictable, the whole thing. And it's kind of weird that they put homicide as your second department after traffic. I mean, I always thought homicide was like the big top notch, you know. I actually feel like the storyline to the homicide department was a lot better than the other ones. So I kind of think like homicide might have been a better ending than arson. I mean, it's cool how they went from homicide to vice and then to arson, but the storylines weren't. They were kind of off. At least when it comes to like dramatic anticipation. I think that's why I really enjoyed the department, the homicide department. Another thing, you guys know that I'm a huge Mass Effect fan, and I know some of you are too. So you guys will be happy to hear that if you guys haven't played the game yet. If you have, I'm sure you spotted it. Garrus, the voice of Garrus, is in the game. He's a very minor character, but you do hear him in the background, and you do get to talk to him for a little bit. And the cool thing is that he's actually, I mean, all the actors in this game are, they played the part. I mean, they didn't just do the voice. They also played the part. So it's almost like they filmed the movie. So everybody that is in the, like, every character is the actor. So you will find yourself going, oh, I know that guy, or I've seen that guy in this one movie, or so it's really cool. That's cool. And what was even cooler was when I spotted Garrus. I heard him at first, and I was like, you spot him in, you first hear him when you're in Vice, I think. Yeah, when you're in Vice. You hear him just like in the background, and I was like, that's Garrus. Oh my god. But he was just like in a background. You can't talk to him. He was just saying something. And you're like, oh my god, it's Garrus. And I mean, the actor, the guy, the actual guy, his facials, everything, it was him. So I was like, oh, that's so cool. He was a detective. In Arson? No, towards the end of Vice, you actually get to talk to him. You ask him some questions. And that was really cool. So you got to ask him some stuff about this theft that he was investigating. And it's just so cool to hear Garrus. I mean, I love Garrus. Garrus is my favorite character, so it was awesome to see him in L.A. Noire. To see him and hear him. He sounds the same. It's awesome. I love that guy. So I think that's all I have to say about the game. If you guys do want to talk about L.A. Noire with me, you could go ahead and send me a message or anything, and I'd be glad to talk to you guys about it. So from a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give this game a 6. 6 or 7. I mean, like a 6.5. The concept was very interesting. It was cool to try it out. So I'm not sorry that I played it. It was a very cool experience, but I will not go back and play it. So my camera's running out of space, so I'll see you guys later. Bye.